Okay. So can you tell me your day-to-day activities in your current profile?
Yeah, the current profile, right now I'm working for Azure Cloud. So it's a Databricks project. So we need to create ETL projects and then ETL scripts, and also after we complete the ETL scripts, then we will be pushing that code to pipeline. That is through ADF. We call it, Azure Data Factory. So that's my daily routine work, and we have a Scrum call daily. Every day morning we attend the Scrum call. Is there any blocker issues or any help? If anyone need, then we need to align with that. And then after 1 hour only, we will go with that actual work. And that's it's sometimes it's a 2 week sprint, or sometimes it's a 3 week sprint. Sometimes it's going to be 1 week sprint. So based on based on our objective, we work accordingly. Sometimes 2 month weightage work will be there. So we need to we align with that 2 month story or else 1 month story. So we create a lot of sub stories under that, and then we, based on the Jira, we work that agile methodology model.
So daily, so you are using ticketing tool as Jira? No.
Yeah, Jira we are using,
Do you
and
work
agile
on,
methodology.
so do you, okay, agile methodology. Okay, if the pipeline got failed, it's not happened as per your schedule, it's not triggered. So what is the process you follow?
Yeah, so I already gone through the situation. So what I do, I go to Azure Monitor, and then I try to find it through Azure Monitor. In case if I didn't find anything, any clear clue, then I'll go to logs. So from logs, definitely logs, it will be there. But the thing is, when I go to log, it will take more time. So I need to choose the resources and then sub resources, and then I'll be finding my job, because there are so many job ID will be there. So I need to figure out through the filter. Then I will know the exact reason why it is failed. So after that, I'll take the precaution. Maybe some situation, if it is my job, then I'll come to know right away. I can take a prior, I can make a note of it, and then going forward, I can make sure. But if it is somebody else one, then I need to work with them to fix that issues.
Okay. So how do you implement a secure data solution in Azure?
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Secure data solution. In my,
Whatever the pipeline you're giving, how will you secure the data?
okay. So, okay. I have a multiple situation here. So, for example, access point of view and data point of view. I think the question more relevant to data point of view, like transaction information. So when we process the transaction information, there's a credit card information will be there, but it's already masked. It's already encrypted data. It looks like a credit card, but it's not original credit card. But still, we need to either we need to mask or else encrypt the data. So what happened? Some situation I used SHA-2 encryption, so that I can encrypt the few digit partially, like 4 digit only. So this one I utilized. But nowadays I started trying out that DLP method. There's a inbuilt DLP packages available in Python. So I started utilizing that one. So it's a part of AI method. So that is a little bit advantage. But the thing is, I can't customize more. But when it comes to customization requirement, then I'll go with the encryption way of securing data.
Okay, so what is this DLP method? Can you show some light on it?
Yeah, sure. It's a data loss prevention API. So this API, when I use this API, then I can simply whatever data I'm extracting, I will pass through this DLP package, so that it will, there I will say, what are the possible like maybe phone number or else SSN, or what are the possible information it may come. I will pass those information, so it will scan based on that pattern, and then it will mask those information.
Sensitive information it will mask.
Correct.
As per whatever the data you're getting, it will identify the sensitive information and it will mask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what is the full form of DLP then?
It's a data loss prevention API.
Data loss prevention. So it works only when the data is coming in API.
But it's just a package. So
Just a
like
package. Okay.
import and then importing that
Okay.
package.
So do you have experience in Azure or GCP?
I have experience in both cloud, so I can give 50-50 weightage.
So do you have experience in working with GCP too? So can you explain me how do you migrate the data sets in GCP?
GCP, I worked on batch job migration and also streaming migration. So when it comes to batch job migration, it's a Hadoop project. So it's kind of re-platforming. So basically, I'm going to use the same script, uh, implementing the same script on Google Cloud. Basically, that service name is dataprop. So, but the thing is, I'm just going to modify that configuration. When I say configuration, it's going to be like environment information and the input, output, what I'm pointing out. So earlier and now. So these changes will be there in the script side. So, and then scheduling part. Scheduling part earlier when it was in on-premise, there I was using control M, similar tool we can use. But when it comes to cloud, I use Airflow Composer. So all the jobs, whatever reside in Google Cloud, so everything scheduled through Airflow Composer.
So what is the command line or tool you use in Google Cloud for Google's transfer appliance?
Google Transfer Appliance, basically, if I want to bring the data from outside Google Cloud to Google Cloud, then I can use. But if the data volume is too huge, then only I'm going to bring. It's a one-time process. So if it is daily, then we are not going to use. If it is only one time is bringing history data, then only we are using that appliance, the transfer
Oh,
appliance.
okay. So I'll give you one scenario now. Okay. So company wants the real time, as we are discussing about real time. Company wants process real time data streams and perform analytics. So which Azure or GCP services would you use to
Uh,
get to do this activity?
Yeah, I can use. I mean, both side. I can. There are a couple of services available. So if it
Mhm.
is a GCP, then I can use PubSub, and then through PubSub,
Mhm.
then the data will be picking through data flow picking the data from PubSub, and then
Mhm.
loading the data to either cloud storage or else a BigQuery. But in
Okay.
case of Azure, here I'm going to use Event Hub. So through Event Hub, so whenever data arrive to Event Hub, then I'll be reading the data through the stream analytics and then writing the data to maybe blob storage or else ADLS to or else Snaps analytics. So then
Databricks. We can't use Databricks here.
yeah, we can use. I mean, after data goes to storage through stream analytics, right away the database can read the data, extract the data, and do the ETL. That is through ADF. I mean, through a data factory, we can implement that.
Oh, very good. So Google PubSub you will use for, I mean, in case of
Yeah.
Google, you use PubSub. Okay.
Yeah.
For real-time processing.
For real numbers. Yeah.
Okay. So which one is better? So you have experience, right? So which one do you prefer? Azure or Google?
No, I mean, based on company. I mean, if company want Azure, then I will go with Azure. Otherwise, GCP then GCP.
Casting wise, both are same? No.
No, costing wise, I'm not very sure because it's difficult to figure out comparing cost wise. But
Mhm.
implementation wise, Google, I mean, if anything comes to data, I mean, Google is a little bit better.
Mhm.
But right now, I mean, when I look at security point of view, I personal in my personal experience, I mean, I feel like I mean, Azure is little bit better than GCP. But
Okay.
GCP is very easy to, if anyone wants pitching into GCP, then it's very easy to move on.
Oh, okay. So you are tasked with designing cost-effective data warehouse solution. So what approach would you take?
A cost effective, then I would go with a more generic model. And then because there only that cost leakage will be there. So that's what I noticed from my previous project as well. So the thing is, I mean, whenever we do POC or whenever any new requirement comes for any ETL jobs, so we'll be creating cluster. Everyone going to create separate cluster for that requirement, and then working on that.
Suppose if you have large amount of data, large volume of data, which one you suggest in Azure and cloud, Google?
No, I mean, we can use. I mean, I can use either. If I let's say if I want to use Databricks available on both cloud, even including AWS, it's there. So with Databricks, I can use auto scale option, so that I mean even if data got increased, so I already enabled the auto scale, so it will scale and then it will take care of processing the data. So that's how I can. That's how I manage it.
Okay. So this is also done. So do you have experience on disaster recovery too?
Yeah, for ETL, so whenever we show the data, so based on category, like I mean, if it is a critical data, so if it is business requirement data, or else if it is if people don't want to expose to anyone, so based on that category, so we use different standard for those data. So when it comes to critical data, then we will be storing the data in two different region. So that initial data when we receive, so that time it will be there in the one region. For example, US central region, and then after when we encrypt, so it will be in US East region. So we'll maintain the backup in this way. So even if we lost some data from the primary area, so we can pick the data from the secondary area.
Okay. So if you want to, a client wants to build a scalable machine learning pipeline. So what Azure or GCP service would you recommend?
Machine learning side, then I would go with the GCP side. GCP is for machine learning side. GCP has more services. So like recently they introduced Vertex AI. So like that they are keep introducing more APIs. So more AI related services.
So Google AI platform.
Yeah.
Okay. We have discussed about data pipeline is not triggered during the scheduled time, right? And if it fails due to the unexpected increase of volume of data, how do you handle the data situation?
Okay, so similar situation I already gone through. So it happened in production. So the job got failed. The thing is, I mean, every day we are expecting something 2 GB data. I mean, 2 GB to 3 GB, that range data. But what happened once we received 12 GB data? But the cluster configuration we set up only for 2 GB, 3 GB range only. Then we find out there is something, either issues from data side or else that script side. So we need to do somewhere. Then we stopped for a while, and then we found the root cause. And then later we noticed from the source stream, they said sometimes it can happen. Then we added extra function in the job site, but only for that day, we created a ADA cluster, and then we resolve the issues. That is, I mean, the quick fix we gave, but for that is temporary. But going forward, after 2 days, we gave the permanent fix by calculating that based on the data volume, we are going to update the configuration on the fly. So that functionality we added later. That is a small Python snippet. So we added after that. I mean, we didn't see that issues.
Do you have some experience of getting data from IoT devices?
Yeah, I mean, one of the Azure project I worked on for IoT related project, because when there is a device, some external device, so we don't have control on that. But whenever information comes to event hub, so we need to process the data to Synapse Analytics. But it's not a straightforward. So what we did it, so we used stream analytics. So whenever data comes to event hub, then stream analytics going to read the data and then write the data to that ADLS2 storage. Then through the data factory, the database is going to read the data and do the ETL, and then store the data back to that Snaps Analytics. So that experience I have.
Okay. I'm done with the interview, Varun. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, Shanti. I mean, I would like to know that the project. I mean, is it
Yeah, we are
only?
getting the project, it is in pipeline. So you have to act as an architect, whether you have to do Azure, we have to select, we have to go with Azure or GCP. So that is the reason we have asked you the questions. So
Okay.
we'll get back to you, Varun.
Okay. Thanks, Shanti.